How's everybody doing today? So, I want to kind of show you guys around and a little bit about what we're doing with our school community. This is a place for $29 a month or $300 a year. You can get a quality guitar education on a system based off of teachings directly from Shawn Lane himself. And one of the things I've been working on lately, actually, is simplifying Ted Greene and his teachings. Ted was a huge influence on Shawn, and his books were amazing. And his students have even come out with different articles and even books trying to explain his teaching methods. And there was also a really good thesis that somebody had written about him. And I really like to try to simplify things. So what I mean by that, I believe that truly intelligent people can take something that's kind of complicated, if you will, and simplify it in ways that other people can understand. So I'm just starting on this course, but this is the Ted Greene Approach Simplified, okay? And I have a video on here already that I recorded for my group. And what we're going to do, so Ted would look at the chord tones as, say, 3 or 4 different voices, like a choir, something like that. And each voice can modulate or move around or whatever. So you think of it as maybe the bass note is a low singer and the top note is the lead singer. And you kind of let the middle notes just connect them smoothly, because the top notes are going to say a lot, so are the low notes. So don't think of the chord as a shape. It's more of a group of notes that can move together in a smart way. So then move chords smoothly. So voice leading means moving from one chord to the next by changing as few notes as possible. This makes the music sound smooth instead of jumpy. And what I mean by that is maybe we want to... I'm gonna take this up to C, so the camera can see this right. But C major, okay. Our intervals here, we have a 1, a 5, an octave, a 3, a 5, and a 1. All right, now let's take a C minor. So if we remove that second finger, that major third becomes a minor third. Now, here's a cool concept. What if I want to go from the C minor? Now, let's move our pinky where that is. Let's move that back a fret. Intervals now from the octave going back one become a major 7. So when you have a 1, a 3, a flat 3, a 5, and a 7, you end up with a minor major 7. That adds some dissonance there. But what if we want to remove this one again? Well, then that major 7 becomes a minor 7. So 1, a flat 3, a 5, and a flat 7 give you a minor 7 chord. Now, you'll hear that sometimes, maybe like a... Now, let's say I want to do this. Okay, that's still C minor 7, but I'm doing what's called a drop 2 voicing. So I'm spreading my root note out from the rest of the chords. There's no muddiness, but in this case, I want to do this. I want to continue going down with this tone. So we have a minor 7. So if we go backwards one, we're going to have to switch our first and second finger. Now we have a C minor 6, because if you go back one from the minor 7, it becomes a major 6, right? So 1, a flat 3, a 5, and a 6 give you a C minor 6. Right here, a C minor flat 6. Now, if we move that flat 6 back one, it's a 5, so we go back to a C minor. So we're moving one note at a time here, okay? Another example would be maybe the C major triad, okay? If I want to make a major 7, I'm going to switch to a drop 2 voicing. So I'm covering the 8th fret on the 6th string, and then my second finger is now on the 8th fret on the 2nd string. My third finger is on the 9th fret on the 3rd string, no, 4th string, and pinky's on the 9th fret on the 3rd string. And I'm kind of using the side of my finger to mute out that 5th string. Now, this was something I learned from the Mickey Baker books years ago. I'm going to put my second finger where my first finger is, my third finger where my second was, and we're going to again move that same string back, that 4th string. So now I have a C major 6, and you can practice going like this. Now let's go to the C major flat 6. I just move it back one. That's C major flat 6, and I move it back again, and that flat 6 becomes 5. So back to C major. So C major 7. Oh, I forgot the C dominant 7 actually. So C major 7. So I'm gonna move this back 1. So there's a dominant 7. Then we have then the 6, then the flat 6. So that's kind of the basic gist of what we're doing right now. That's just like within the first couple little segments here. I also want to kind of show you guys around here. This is a brand new course I'm working on, and all of my courses and Sid's courses, we're constantly updating them. So here is an intro to intervals. So we have a freemium, and you get the introduction to the Shawn Lane Curriculum, and it's part of the first clinic that Sid did. And then just a brief intro to intervals. And I use my app, Interval Matrix Pro, and we do a real deep dive on this, actually. Not in here, but, and then kind of using some of the picking rudiments over Bach, which Shawn Lane and Sid Wolf really love. And then I'm showing you just the basics of reading music and tablature, because I realized that some students did not know how to do that. And it's a complete system, and we're building on it all the time. Now, this right here, though, Interval Matrix Course System. So this is a 16 module course here, and it goes into a lot of details, and we color code our intervals. Intervals are the building blocks towards music. Okay, so some of these have videos like that one. That one's a online course that I did. It's a 42-minute video. So Interval Matrix Pro, Master Compatibility Index. So here we talk about how the red is, that's your North Star total resolution. We go into all the different colors and what interval they represent. The yellow is the minor second. It's dark, immediate tension. Green is the major second. But that way, when we switch keys, the colors are going to stay the same. So you can kind of pick out, you know, the mapping and stuff. And then the diatonic modes and chord companions. So Ionian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which red, green, turquoise, olive green, blue, tan, pink. And then we got major, major 7, major 9, major 13, major 6. So we do that with all the modes. Then we go into melodic minor and harmonic minor and all that. And then there's a transcript for all the videos as well. And we got exotic and symmetrical vault here. And all this is on Interval Matrix Pro as well. But this course is designed to work with Interval Matrix Pro. So here we got a quick reference guide. And, you know, I kind of just wanted to show you guys. And then we got the master syllabus here. And then we got inverting intervals. Again, there's a video right there, 30 minutes. So inverting intervals where we go backwards. So major becomes minor, minor becomes major, augmented becomes diminished, perfect remains perfect. And here we have a table right here, visualization. Okay, then we got the interval matrix chord architecture, DNA of harmony, which is triads, right? And then inverting the DNA, expanding the DNA to seventh chords. And then we talk about the Berklee-style drop voicings. And we got a whole thing on drop voicings. And I did use this guy's video on this because it's amazing. But there's a lot of text to go along with that here. And we got ear training. And also I show you where to get free ear training software so you can learn how to do this. And this is where we use song association. And then advanced interval architecture. We have compound intervals and enharmonic equivalents, stuff like that. God mode, tension, and release. And again, I got a video on there, about 16 minutes. And then we have the matrix staff visualization, how to visualize the intervals on the staffs. And again, I'm adding to this stuff all the time. And this is just intervals. So, yeah, here we have the modal interchange, heartstrings trick, and navigating the interchange in the app. And then the arpeggio matrix, and arpeggio is just single note chords is all they are. And how Shawn would like to use an intervallic approach, doing stuff like this. And that's another thing that we have is we teach you how to take a major 7, or no, just a major 7 is what we start with, arpeggio, in 2 octaves, and we show you all the possible melodic melodies you can make out of that. And then we do the whole thing with the harmonized major scale, and there's over like 5,000 different possibilities there. So then we have sweep picking matrix, how to lay it out, on the maps and stuff like that. And then sight reading intervals, mastering the treble clef, because guitar is a treble clef instrument. Again, that's a 25-minute video right there. So going back to the classroom, all this unlocks at $29 a month. I mean, you can't beat it. This is how to practice right here, how we break it down. I want to show you right here, though. This is really, really cool here. So we have some different Bach sequences, stuff like that. But I want to show you guys building melodies off of diatonic chords. Let's look at this. And then here, actually, let me just show you this atlas. Each one has printouts. So right there. Okay, so Melodical Atlas, Volume 1. All right, so we end up with different note orders, right? Keeping the root note the same, okay? Then we start changing this around. Then we go into the 2 chord, the minor 7. And then the 3 chord. This is all just 2 octaves here. 4 chord. So by the time, this is just diatonic chords, by the way. So we want you to map all 24 cells in Interval Matrix Pro, and then choose 4 and run with those. And then do different picking examples, alternate picking, legato, rest stroke accent, rhythmic groupings of 5 or 7s, voice leading into the next diatonic chord. And that's kind of what I was showing you just now. So I'm kind of just running through this stuff, but I want to show you guys how in depth and detailed this actually gets here, because this is some really, really cool stuff. Here's the introduction right here. So then we have building melodies, diatonic chords. So here, all right, 1/7 chord contains 4 distinct notes, root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Any 4 distinct notes can be permuted in 41, or in 4, which is 24 ways. So 7 root note positions, diatonic 7 chords, therefore produce 7 times 24, 168 melodic permutations, okay? So a strict C4, C5 octave yields 11 distinctive registral pitch sets, because 4 chord families can use either the low C or the high C, producing 11 times 24 equals 264 melodies. Now, 2 octaves allow all 4 inversions of all 7 diatonic chords, creating 28 pitch sets, and 28 times 24 is 672 unique melodies that we can do. And we actually take this further. We end up with over 5,000. And we're going to show you how to do this. So you can plug these in, have instant melodies. And that's the whole point of this system as opposed to other systems. Shawn was a master of improvisation, and he did not want people to just copy him. That's pointless. He wanted you to develop your own style. He wanted you to be able to create your own sound, your own style immediately. So we do that with this. And there's some really, really cool stuff here. So then we have this Bach Sequences Lab here. So check this out. These are all different little snippets, like one measure snippets of Bach pieces. Shawn had the idea of taking this and using it over chord changes, or using it over, say, and using it as chord sequence or scale sequences or something like that, but using the melodies of Bach to progress through whatever. Now, Sid wrote down, I believe this is like 22 or 24 different variations or different Bach melodies. He's got over 200 of them that he has written down, and we're slowly releasing those as well. So anyway, it does not matter what skill level you're on. You're definitely going to get something out of this system. And this is something that's really cool that I could not have come up with on my own, that Sid could not have come up with on his own. But Shawn sat down with us, and we were trying to come up with new ways that people could study the guitar and music in general and actually put it to use immediately. Because when I was in music school, I always had the issue of I would learn something for the midterm, and you study and you crunch and you get into the midterm, and then you take the test, and then next thing you know, you got to learn for the final. And I truly didn't. I got so much out of AIM, but I truly didn't get everything I could have gotten out of it until long into after school and after I'd been teaching for a long time, and I had to start explaining that stuff to other people. Here we talk about the Nashville numbering system, because Shawn Lane always charted out Nashville numbers. He loved them. Here's different scales and arpeggios, sequences and stuff. These are my personal sequences and Shawn's sequences, stuff like that. So we break down to major scale sequences, different patterns, G, D, and A across the neck. And then here we're using different variations, like A major, page 18 exercise, which is the old AIM book, sequence in fourths. Or, we might have sequence in thirds, doing D major. And we just try to really mix this up. Or A major using fifths and sixes. And here's my app, Interval Matrix Pro, right here. And some of this stuff I have on YouTube, but I go into a lot more detail on here. The secret sauce on 3 notes per string. This thing's really cool. It's a pattern that we teach our students that is actually really, really cool. You'll never lose your fingering by doing this. And then we have different pentatonic ideals, like, different fingering patterns, stuff like that. And then we have basic scales right there. And again, I'm adding this stuff all the time, different concepts for arpeggios. Over here, I have, and right now we have 4 of Sid's masterclasses. Shawn Lane question answer deep dive. Here I feature a lot of Shawn's close friends and students and their music careers, because we have a lot of amazing guitar players and just musicians in general that he played with, and we're close friends with him. So I want to, feature them as well. People that, like Randall Morton and Sean O'Donnell, Kevin Williams, David Fletcher, Jeff Cowell, legendary Buddy Church. And this is just naming a few, y'all. Like I said, this is all work in progress. And technique and beyond. This is one of my favorites. This is where I'm breaking down many different techniques. Like here, we are breaking down a group of 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 within the harmonic minor. Here I'm doing whole tone, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7s. I've got pedal points in here. I've got different internet lessons and articles from Shawn, and then the Shawn Lane book too. It's right there. We want to be able to study out of that, so it's in here. $29 a month, and I go live all the time. If you have a question, I will answer it immediately, and a lot of times I'll just go live with you and show you. And when I do go live, you're welcome to ask any question at all. And sometimes Sid's on there with us, and then our other members in this group. We have some great guitar players in here, y'all. So anyway, it's on sale right now for $29 a month, and you absolutely. Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta show you this. Private archive. This is stuff that's never been released before. Oh wait a minute, I need to finish this up right here. The full thrill is gone by the Willies we have right there. We have various demos. Which one? Okay. Oh, I need to change that. That's actually supposed to be hard case. So the original hard case had lyrics, y'all. Um, Original hard case with lyrics. No, not hardcore. Okay, so this is stuff that y'all have never heard before. It's not on YouTube. It's not anywhere. We got submissions to Mike Varney. I call this one Hong Kong Hero. I mean, I didn't know what to name some of this stuff. We've got that delay demo, and I've got this sampled very high right here. Very cool pre-powers of 10 call and response stuff. We've got the full Atlanta Institute of Music clinic that has been taken down from the internet with Jeff Sipe. It's on there. We've got all kinds of stuff on here, y'all. For $29 a month, you can't beat this. You really can't. You're getting a lot here. And our community is very, very active. Well, let's see here. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got to. Oh, here we go. Okay. So here we have a lot of discussions going on. And here's where I got the idea to do the Ted Greene stuff. We got some great players in here, too. Here's a recording of me and Jim Dandy live. This is the master thesis on Ted Greene that made me want to simplify it and do my own chords course on here. And then here we have the discussions with Holdsworth. Jennifer Batten talks about buying a stripper for Nicholas Slonimsky. There's stuff in here, and we talk about all kinds of stuff. And then you can see where I'm dropping new coursework for premium members. I added transcripts of clinics 1 through 4. Also a nice overview, compartmentalization, more like a book of all 4 clinics. And you can find them in Masterclass 1 section. Here's where Shawn's talking about improvisation. So, you know, it's a very, very active forum. His friends oftentimes chime in. And that's really cool. Like Bill Oliver was probably his best friend over time. And Bill will jump on and share all kinds of stuff and answer questions. Like here he was talking to Kenley Wolf, and they were reminiscing about when Shawn saw UK, because Bill was there as well. So here he's talking about Shawn noodling, stuff like that. And this is stuff that, you know, so Shawn Lane had a great run with the Willies. Sometimes in between songs, he would play a little something like Cruise Missile by Steve Morris, Somebody Give Me a Doctor solo, or Beelzebub by Bill Bruford. But one night he totally surprised me playing a short section of the magnum opus by Kansas. If he heard it, he could play it. And Shawn could do that. He could hear something once and he could play it and he would have it memorized. I've never met anybody else like that in my life. So guys, $29 a month, and we're also taking on a huge project where we are restoring all these old videos and all this music, and it takes a lot of disk space for us to be able to do that. So that helps tremendously, and you get access to all this, and you get guitar instruction for less than $1 a day. And I guarantee you, most local teachers, 99% of them in any given town, are not going to have the experience that me and Sid Wolf, that we have. I've taught for 30 years, and he's taught for over 50. And anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you guys what we're doing here. I'm Jimmy Hudson. I approve this message.